Hey guys, welcome back to the Hope with Jonathan podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Traylor. Hey guys, I appreciate all the support for Hope with Jonathan. I wanted to bring you guys this really quick podcast and talk to you guys about why that I feel like it's important for us to relaunch the Hope with Jonathan podcast. Guys, listen, we had tremendous success with interviewing chronic illness, chronic disease, chronic kidney disease patients who had been on our show, and we had some incredible guests back in the day, just a couple years ago. And we had some incredible interviews that you can go look at right now over on YouTube. There are some incredible interviews, inspiring interviews, um, interviews that you can go back and watch, listen to, and be super, super inspired and motivated. Hopeful Jonathan podcast is not about us. It's not about me. Although I am a kidney transplant recipient, kidney disease patient. Um, at the end of the day, I'm a patient first. So for me, this podcast is definitely about informing others, but it's not about me. What it is I'm providing a service and a platform for individuals who want to come on and share their incredible story on my platform. And basically, I tell all my guests, look, it's your show. Like literally, you share what you want to share. You put out there what you want to put out there, and we're here for it. And I will ask questions to guide you through the interview, and um, I will discuss your story. I may interject and ask you other questions as well. But at the end of the day, it's your podcast, and we're just providing a platform. But we had some incredible people on our show. I mean, you can go back and look at. I'll tell you a great example is Fred Hill. Fred Hill came on the show. Man, he rocked the house. He was on fire. He was such an inspiration. He's a great motivator, former dialysis patient, now kidney transplant recipient. And he just does incredible. I mean, if you've ever seen him, he's a dialysis nation, I think he calls it, or it's dialysis is not your life. That's what it is. He's got a book and the whole nine, guys. He's incredible. I think he goes live over on his channel on Mondays. What he does motivation with Fred Hill, but he's incredible. And that interview, guys, is probably one of my top interviews. We've got some educational interviews over there as well that we did with Kelsey Reed, kidney dietitian. So if you want to get informed over there about what to eat as far as the renal diet's concerned, and based upon your labs and based upon what's going on with your kidneys, uh, Kelsey Reed, I would definitely refer and go to her myself anytime. So you definitely want to check out those interviews. And then we have patients that are in need of a kidney, and they come on and share their incredible journey and incredible story, and and their plea for a kidney donor. My neighbor the other day, I seen her uh, just crossing our paths, and she stopped me, and I said hello, and and she wanted to share with me that soon she was going to be celebrating her 10-year kidney donor celebration anniversary that she donated a kidney 10 years ago. And then of course I shared with her that in August of this year, 2024, I'm going to be celebrating 4 years kidney transplant recipient, which is huge. And it's quite shocking. I'll be honest with you. The time has just passed by so fast. But I shared that with her, and then but my only question that was on my mind at that moment was, you know, have you had any issues over the course of 10 years? Have you had any problems, any medical issues, anything that's come along your way that was unexpected because you donated a kidney? And her answer was simply no, none, not at all. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. 10 years, kidney donor. And that just proves right there, guys. Listen, and you know what's, it's not funny, but you know what else that I have found statistically with people that I've had on my show that is a kidney donor is that most of them report back, if not all that have been on my show, have reported the same report that they haven't experienced any issues, any problems with their health. And also, if they could do it again, they would do it time after time after time. So shout out to all the kidney donors out there. So we've had guests on here that have also, been kidney donors. So they've shared their incredible journey. We've also had guests on the show also as care partners. So we've had care partners, caregivers for dialysis patients. We've had liver transplant recipients on the show. And about 2 years ago, I had this ideal to completely change the show from just interviewing just chronic kidney disease patients, and I wanted to share incredible journeys of hope of people who have overcome great obstacles, and within that is chronic kidney disease, but people that have battled chronic illnesses, great obstacles, great adversity, faced their fears with either a chronic illness or maybe they've been through, a financial recovery. Maybe they've gone through weight loss journey. Maybe they've, came across an incredible uh, adverse issue in their life that they've overcome, and they want to share an incredible journey with other people. Why? Because our show is all about sharing a message of hope. We're here to encourage other people. That's what we're here for. That's what Hope and Jonathan started with, and that's what we're still all about. It's not about gaining views on myself. It's more about gaining views for your story. And I have worked my, excuse the French, but my tail end off to get the podcast to where it is today. And yes, we've taken a break due to the fact that I did have a kidney transplant in 2020, and then eventually I've had to get myself back into the workforce. I've had a couple of moves involved, some things that have happened personally to me, some events. Dealt with mold in an apartment our condo. Actually, it was a condo that we had actually rented. And then we had to, relocate to another city that was down the road. And then we had eventually came back to where we was originally at and been at for almost 8 years in Kerrville. And the reason why we had to move down the road was when I had the condo situation, we could not find anywhere to rent here in the city of Kerrville because so many people have come here and rented up everything. And at that current time, we could not find anything that was available and affordable. And we ended up going down the road and talked about affordability, but we ended up renting something just to have a roof over our head that was way more expensive than what we ever thought we would ever, be paying in our lifetime. I'll just put it this way: it was over 2,000 a month. And after 6 months of that, we ended up having to after our lease was up, we ended up getting a call to come back, home to where we was at in Kerrville. Like I said, we've been here almost 8 years, and it was time for us to come home. Okay, so dealing with all that, there's some financial recovery with that, and then working in the workforce, and things of that nature. It can set back a podcast, as you can understand. And at the end of the day, regardless if you have a podcast with, 200 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, when you have personal things that go on in your life, you end up, everything, goes to the back burner, and you end up having to everything that you're going through supersedes, especially a podcast. Um, and you have to put, what's most important in front of you and start to deal with each situation as they come. And so, and maybe sometime I will share that completely in a full podcast with some other people. But at the end of the day, I truly miss podcasting. I truly, truly miss interviewing other guests, connecting with others. Let me say this: when I announced in 2019 that I had went through kidney failure, and started putting out there that I was a kidney patient, uh, man, I got to tell you, the kidney community embraced me. I started gaining friends, and the kidney community, I look at it like a family, literally. And, although we may not all agree on certain situations about dialysis, transplant, and different aspects about it, and about, treatment options and what have you, because everybody is different and everyone has their own story, they have their own experience with all of those things: treatment options, dialysis modalities, whether or not you're going to take a transplant. And, there's no judgment here. You got to pick what your best option is. So, whether you choose to have uh, kidney transplant, whether you choose to have dialysis, whether you are doing home dialysis, whether that be home hemo or peritoneal dialysis, or whether you're choosing not to go on dialysis. Some people choose that option as well. There's no judgment here. Hope with Jonathan. We just want to share your incredible story. And I think we've been super super successful with staying with that mindset of no judgment, and we're here for a platform for patients that want to share their story, or people that have you know overcome great obstacles. So we've had a great time doing it, as far as hosting, and a great time with having people on our show. And it's an opportunity for you right now, for you to share your incredible journey on our podcast, Hope with Jonathan, because we're looking for guests. We are heavily posting that we're back up and running, and we're out here, we're telling people, look, we want to share your story on our podcast. We would love to have you as a guest, and if you guys are willing to come on and share your story, we'll have you. We'd love to have you. And it's fun. It's a fun experience. And some people out there say, you know what, I don't have a story, I don't have anything interesting to share, I don't have anything that I really want to talk about. Everyone has a story, and your story is important, your story has value. And if you want to share it, all you got to do is go to Hope with Jonathan and go to our website, okay? And there's been some recent changes with the website, and we've changed it up a little bit. It is now hwjpodcast.com. So it's hwjpodcast.com. You go over there. There's a way for you to sign up. You're going to go through a process. It's not a big deal. It takes just less than a few seconds. And it involves sharing your email address and your name. And once I get the information and see who you are, that you want to, be on a podcast, you want to be on a live broadcast with me and share your incredible journey, that will be featured, across Facebook, Twitter, well, now X, YouTube. Man, there's just so many more. LinkedIn, so many that I can share it to. But it's entirely up to you. But I'm letting you guys know by way of podcasting today that if you guys are interested, please go visit the website, hwjpodcast.com. And, we're not trying to sell you anything. We're not trying to get you to sign up for, getting some sort of scam or any of that. All I'm trying to do is get your email address so that I can provide you with, some information. I do have a newsletter that I send out once a month with just informative information. I may be sharing your podcast if you're on our show. So, just to update our followers and people like that. So, I think right now I've got around 200 members on that email list that I'm sharing emails to as far as newsletter. But it's only a once a month. Once a month. You'd be lucky to hear from me twice a month. Okay, depending upon time and availability. But listen, guys, if you want to share your story, I'm going to tell you what you're doing. Okay, you're helping in the fight and aid to bring hope to the world. And you may not understand it. You may say, not really. My story is not that good. My story, listen, when someone is going through a situation, such especially in kidney failure, dialysis, transplant, discouragement is real. And discouragement comes along very easy. So if someone wants to, you know, be depressed and have anxiety and fear, it's pretty common. And they may come across our podcast and say, I watched the episode of, or, a show, Hope with Jonathan, and, they had this guy on there or this, individual or lady that shared her story or his story or, you know, and it really encouraged me. I sat and listened, and I, I found out that I'm not alone, and I'm not facing this journey all by myself. And you know what? They were going through a similar situation. They were going through a similar situation, or I had the same issues as them, or I had the same symptoms as them, or I went through the same issues. You see what I'm saying? And when you're doing that, when you're sharing your story, but yet, they look at you and say, you know what, that person is still here. That brings hope. Okay. That brings hope and awareness. And I'm telling you guys, it's huge. I totally miss it. We feel like that we can be of use to the community. We feel like we can bring hope and awareness to individuals out there who need it. And hope is needed. Hope is needed in our world. It's needed with, every individual out there can use some hope. And I know that whenever I faced, kidney failure in 2019, that's all I had to hang on to, man, was hope. That was it. Everything was stripped from me. That's the way I felt. My life, I had 2 kids, a wife, and I feel like I let them down. I felt so down and depressed until I came across the kidney community. And even though I had family with support, they truly couldn't understand what I was facing. Even though they seen it, and they were right there and I had their support, they truly didn't understand it because they weren't physically experiencing it like I was. And when I met other individuals inside of support groups, inside of, social media, and I met other individuals in person who had went through what I went through with a near death experience with kidney failure. It changed. It was a game changer. It changed my life. It changed my mindset, my outlook, and it gave me hope. And I hung on to that hope during the whole time while I was on dialysis. I was only on dialysis relatively a short amount of time compared to others, 13 months, almost 14. That was long enough for me. And God seemed fit that I would get a kidney. And I'm still in awe of the fact that I'm sitting here right now talking to you guys as a almost 4-year kidney transplant recipient. I live my life every day as a grateful person who's seen the other side. But listen, I want to highly encourage you guys to get involved with us, get involved with our podcast. We'd love to have you on our show. We can make a difference together if you want to come on and share your story, but you got to be willing to share your story. Guys, listen, I look forward to hearing back from you guys. I want you to reach out to us, hwjpodcast.com, or you can find us across the board, Hope with Jonathan. Throw out a message to us on whatever app that you're reaching out on, because we're everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. And you guys message and let me know. But we'd love for you to go to the website. It would make it a little bit more easier for me. hwjpodcast.com. Sign up to get your interview. I'll reach out and we can schedule a time, or schedule a day. Which I want to let you guys know up front. I'm trying to do these podcasts on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central. So if you're willing to share your story on a podcast, that's when we want to schedule them, is on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Central. And, if we need to make some adjustments, you can't do Tuesday, you can't do 6 p.m. Central. We've done that before. We're willing to accommodate with you. My goal is to do one of these a week. Possibility of a live in between the weeks, covering covering a certain subject or a topic. But right now, I just want to focus on one live a week, and I want to get some interviews out there and share a message of hope with others. Hey guys, listen, I appreciate you listening to the podcast. Again, guys, my name is Jonathan E. Traylor. I am the host and founder of Hope with Jonathan. I'm a kidney transplant recipient, fixing to celebrate 4 years, guys, which is super exciting. And guys, listen, we are in full relaunch mode for the podcast. And you know what? Something else I wanted to offer, because, if you go back and look at most of our shows on our YouTube channel, they are live broadcasts. And of course, your face is on the screen, and some people are uncomfortable with that. So listen, I'm willing to make accommodations as well. We can do an audio only. This is the first time I've really ever offered this. I've done a few of them, but I truly love the experience of a live broadcast. But if you guys only want to do audio only, I can offer that as well. We do audio only podcasts as well, for those of you out there that, maybe a little shy, a little timid being on the screen. You don't want to share your story like that. You'd like to share your story a little more private, or give you some privacy. And some people feel more comfortable. Maybe they can express themselves better in that form or fashion. And listen, I'm all for that. Whatever we need to do to make it work for you, that's what we'll do here at Hope with Jonathan. Hey guys, God bless you today. Hope with Jonathan is all about sharing a message of hope. Find more information, hwjpodcast.com. I want you guys to stay safe out there. Take care of your kidneys. Definitely go get a blood test and a urine sample. Definitely get that urine tested as well. Let them know that you want to get a kidney test or a kidney checkup. Find out exactly how well your creatinine is, and all of your labs across the board when it comes to your kidneys. Definitely want to get all that checked out. Your BUN, your creatinine, your potassium, your sodium levels. EGFR is important as well. All the above. You want to get all those checked. Find out what's going on with your kidneys, man, because your kidneys affect so much across the board. I had no idea when I crashed into the emergency room and woke up on a dialysis machine 3 days later, how much your body depends upon your kidneys. So definitely go get that kidney check. But hey, guys, take care. We're going to see you guys on the Hope with Jonathan podcast. Look for brand new episodes soon. I hope that when this podcast finds you, that you'll be inspired to share your story. Y'all take care. God bless. This is Jonathan.